Hi everybody. I want to talk about the Japanese animes, in particularly Death Note today. I hope that you don't mind. If you don't want any spoilers alert, I would suggest you do not watch this one because it is going to be about Death Note and what is going to happen. And if you'd like to watch that, don't listen to this. But it's a very beautiful, one of the most enjoyable animes that you'll ever see. So turn it up. Go and watch it, or So, let me tell you a little bit of story about behind my story, how did I come to like this type of thing. My introduction to Death Note, that's what I mean. I watched Death Note when the movie was released, not the Netflix movie was released, when in 2000, I think, the Japanese movie Death Note was released. I watched it, and it was very intriguing. It was very intriguing to me because the concept of two very smart people in battle of wits and trying to outthink each other's in very nice. It's a very cool concept, and I really liked the movie, the Japanese movie version of it. It was 2 hours, I think, and I was very interesting. I was very interested in it, but that just introduced me to the manga, the actual Japanese anime version of it, which was released a lot further before than the movie. So I researched it a few years back, and I started watching the anime versions for English dubbed versions. So that means they translated it into English, and the anime is still Japanese. And it was so intriguing. Really, the level of details that are in the thinking of the characters. I know that they are not real, but oh my goodness, it was very intellectual. It was really, the detail is a lot more detailed than the movie itself. I really thought that the movie was very interesting, intriguing, and I thought that I knew after watching the movie, I knew part of like 90% of the anime, but the original anime has a lot more to offer to you, and it has a lot more character development into the anime version. I don't know if you understand me, but so that's how I found out. So the first few episodes that I watched on YouTube, it's still out there on YouTube. It was very interesting, and I got hooked onto it because the Japanese anime version of it, it's detailed, it's better than the movies because it explains to you what their thinking is, like in their thoughts, what is going on in their thoughts when things are going on. So for example, when Light comes back home and he sees his spare pencil is broken at the side of the door, he knows that somebody broke into his room, and then in his brain he's thinking, so somebody broke into my home, broke into my room, and had the trouble to actually make it look like they didn't break into my room. If my family were to have got into my room, which they're not supposed to, but if they did, they wouldn't bother to put back the paper that he put on the door itself, or door hinges. That's the first test. That's just a decoy. But the second test of his door opening is the extra pencil refill. You know, that 0.05 pencil refill, retractable pencil refill, I don't know. He puts one of those things at the hinges, at few degrees at the hinges of the drawer, and then when it opens, it will break and fall down on the floor, and as well as the paper. So if the family opened it, they won't bother to put the paper back up in its place. But if the others outside opened it with the vicious intent, they will open it up and they'll be like, oh, that's a trap. Oh, we're going to put back the paper back in the door. So that's just one of the examples of how smart that kid is in the Death Note. And oh my goodness, if you want to see it, go ahead and see it, because I loved it. But you need to have a lot of patience to watch the whole thing. And yeah, and I was going through, when I was doing some home sewing project when I was at home last time, I used to watch that pastime as well as do some sewing project. It was very good for me to just let it run and do my thing and just entertain myself a little, you know. So that's what I did. That's my little background story. But let me tell you a little bit about Death Note. It's not about me, right? And Death Note, I think so. I think they actually translated as deathnote. Okay, it's a Japanese manga series written by Tsugumi Oba, I'm not sure, and illustrated by Takeshi Obata. The story follows Light Yagami, a high school student who stumbles across a mysterious otherworldly notebook, the Death Note, which belongs to Shinigami Ryuk, and grants its users the power to kill anyone whose name and face they know. The series centers around Light's subsequent attempts to use the Death Note to change the world into a utopian society without crime as a godlike vigilante named Kira. And the subsequent efforts of an elite task force of law enforcement agents consists of a Japanese policy sorry, I don't know what's that noise outside. Okay, consists of a member of Japanese police agency led by L, an enigmatic international detective to apprehend him and end his reign of terror. Absolutely cool. I feel so good. Anyways, now. So now let's look at the plot. In Tokyo, an intelligent yet disaffected high school student named Light Yagami finds the Death Note, a mysterious black notebook which can kill anyone as long as the user knows both the target's name and face. After verifying the notebook works, initially being terrified of its godlike abilities, Light begins to consider the possibilities of a Death Note's abilities and sets out to create a utopian world without crime, killing numerous high-profile Japanese criminals. for ventrally targeting international law offenders all around the world. Eventually, Light is visited by Ryuk, a Japanese god of death, and the Death Note's previous owner, who dropped the notebook into the human world out of boredom. Ryuk, who is invisible to anyone who has not touched the Death Note, is assumed by Light's action and serves as Light's companion. It's really cool. A few videos ago, I don't know when, I think I was talking about the coffees and coffee problems that I used to have. I still have coffee problems, but I was talking about Ryuk from the Death Note. When he's kind of addicted to apples. It's a very cute concept. The Shinigami is addicted to apples from human world. So when he doesn't have apples in the human world, his body becomes like twisted and painful and just like, like really painful sort of thing. He goes through withdrawal syndromes such as that. So that's what I was referring to when I was talking about coffee the other time, another video. And I think one person understood the concept. So it's really fun to watch the Death Note. But the funny coincidence is every time I talk about, I've been recording this video concept of talking about Death Note for this is my how many attempt? This is I think the third, or I think this is the fourth attempt for me to do a video recording on the Death Note, and every time I record, I swear to you, something happens that makes me stop recording and just do that. And right now, one thing that is happening outside is the garbage truck that is coming out and making giant loud noises, and I don't have time to record any other time. So I really hope that this recording is not jinxed or something, because it's the fourth time I'm trying, and the fourth time in different timings. A few weeks ago I tried to record it, and a few months ago I tried to record it, and I think it just couldn't be recorded. I really hope that I hope that you're okay with this noise outside, because I'm really sorry I could not change the environment. So anyways, Death Note. What an amazing concept. My favorite character in Death Note is absolutely L. I am Team L. He's very smart. L is so smart. He just, he knows many steps in advance. He knows things. He's just like very peculiar in his ways, but he's damn smart. That's what I'm trying to say. Light is smart on his own ways, but I guess his ways are more like kind of crazy thinking. I think that Light uses people to get his way, and that's why I don't really like Light. Anyway, it's just a character, right? It's just animes. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Maybe some of you might think that this is just a cartoon Akami, or preferring one to the other is just a cartoon, right? But it's just when you start watching that, you realize that it's either Team Light or Team L. So I'm in the side of Team L. L's real name, I don't know who L's real name is, but I like the way his quirky mind works. Very smart. But his facial expressions in a cartoon version, it's so funny. And he loves to eat lots of candies and sugar and stuff. I think, well, it's I think that it's because he uses his brain a lot and he needs all those sugar and all those energies to survive on. And he made the ultimate sacrifice at the end, that's why I do like and one of my favorite also is Ryuk, Shinigami Ryuk. Ryuk is very he's the Shinigami, right? He's a god of death, but he's it's like he's more human than humans. You might think that his expression, his outside look, and the way he looks like is like he looks like a monster because he's god of death. So actually a monster, but he's thinking the way he, I think he's more humane than light. So at the end of the day, Ryuk couldn't even handle light anymore because he says that it's really messed up. Light, you're messed up. Shinigami says to light, the god of death says to another human, you are messed up, man. So it's really funny. For me, it was very funny. Kind of dorky to like all these things, but yeah, I like it. You need to enjoy the small things in life. So, Death Note, 2 thumbs up. L reminds me a lot of Sherlock Holmes. Just that L's bad habits are eating candies and his very unsocial manners. Well, that just reminds me of Sherlock Holmes, but his bad habits are just candies instead of Sherlock Holmes' bad habits are drugs, right? So it's very funny that way, that this type of thinking, Moriarty versus Sherlock Holmes, L versus Light, it's just that type of intellectual game that I like to watch. But like listening to the way his brain works, the both side brain, right? Light's brain is very smart. He's very, very calculative and smart. It's kind of, I think it's a psychopath or something, but it's a very effective psychopath. So it's I like that anime, that because they explain, see, there's so many little things that the movie didn't portray. So the anime will tell you how he came to think about. And well, let me just read a bit more about the plots, because I don't want to tell you the ending. Oh man, it's a lot of fun, As numerous criminals and convicts around the world begin to die of inexplicable freak accidents and heart attacks, the global media begins to believe that an individual is responsible for the mysterious murder, starts designing him as Kira, a Japanese transliteration of the word killer, who is both feared and beloved by the public and the law enforcement agencies. Okay, so hoping to apprehend Kira, Interpol requests the assistance of an enigmatic, highly esteemed international consulting detective known as L, who has cracked numerous crime cases around the world to assist them in the investigation. After deducing that the Kira is based in Japan, L stages a TV broadcast in which he tricks Light into revealing that he is in the Kanto region of Japan. By manipulating him to kill a decoy, humiliated, Light vows to kill L, whom he views as obstructing his plans. L quickly deduces that Kira has inside knowledge of Japanese police's investigation led by Light's father, Soichiro Yagami, under the suspicion that Kira could have familial connections with members of Kira investigation. L assigns a team of FBI agents to monitor the families of those connected to the investigation, but Light and outmaneuvers and kills them all. Nonetheless, L picks up enough hints to designate Light as the prime suspect. Around this time, Light graduates from high school to college. L recruits Light into Kira task force, both trying to get the other to reveal the crucial information. And that's all I'm going to read because it's really cool. The concept at this point is all the cool things have started happening up to the point where Light resigned. Up to the point where Light graduated from high school. All the cool things have already happened. Lots of cool things have happened. So you just go ahead and look at it. Oh my goodness. So cool. So cool. And the anime is very humorous too. I love the way the Japanese think. It's the way it's like very humorous. They always have this blundering, funny character in there who is kind of clueless but very adored by everybody. Like, it's a very lovable character. And one of the police officers was that character in this cartoon. It was so cute. And then that's all I'm gonna say at this point right now. Thank you guys so much for listening to me, and I'm so sorry about the voices outside. Sounds outside. Things are disturbing. The ASMR video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps you to sleep, relax, just de-stress. So thank you for enjoying my video today. See you next time. Bye.